All right. Hello. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Do a little test before I start the stream. Hello. Oh, chat's working. That's great. Hello. Hello, bad idea generator. Also, hello to you. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce your name, but hello. We'll give it a few minutes. I won't jump into the stream yet. I'll wait for a few other people to see if they want to hop on or whatever. Then I'll just say my hellos in the meantime. How are you all doing? Hey, Swordplay and Sorcery. Hello. If anyone hasn't, go check out Swordplay and Sorcery on YouTube. They have excellent videos. Really, really good quality stuff. He's brilliant. Go check him out. Who else have we got here? We got Watch Online, loud and clear, brilliant. Thank you so much. Hello, Twin Solar. Hello. Okay, I'm slightly dyslexic, so bear with me. Quoken Alvardo, is that right? Yo, wait, it's a Hoquin. Oh. Sorry. Hello. Amber's hello, how's it going? Welcome everybody. Nice to see you all. Is the music's okay as well? The music's not too loud. I hope. If it is, let me know. I can turn down the music too. Okay, let's see. Just reach through my mic here. Because I'm not getting any messages about how many people are currently live. So let me just set up my phone. Blue, do you want to say hello to people? Is that why you're whining? You feel left out? Okay, I'll let Blue say hello real quick. Let's see. Oh, hello! I got a little package, little doggy package. What's all this then? Huh? What's all this technology? Samuel Thierry, is that right? Morning. Good morning to you. It is 6 p.m. here. Oh my God, you're going in there, aren't you? But good morning to you. Twin Solar, I don't hear any music. Oh, right, no music at all. That's interesting. Okay, wait, loose dog. I'll go fix the music. That's strange. Let me turn up my desktop audio, and maybe you might be able to hear it now. Let me know. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing. Wireless Corner. Is that right? I hope that's right. Sorry, Blue was getting impatient there, but yes, Blue's kind of, but yes, hello Amber. Yes, good to see Blue. I had to start the stream with Blue, obviously. Music volume is low, but I have headphones. No, I'll turn it up a little bit if it's a bit low. I've adjusted it now, so let me know if that's good, bad, whatever. What are you whining? Let me. I was doing a thing here before I went to get Blue. Actually, let me check the stream. So I have it on my phone here as well. Make sure my volume is down so that doesn't get any like repeated sounds. Bear with me now. I have so many screens around me. It's kind of a bit nauseating, to be honest. Blue, I hope you got spoiled. Yeah, oh, she got really spoiled for her birthday. Yeah, we went up north, so I'm living in Finland at the moment. We're in Rovaniemi, so right next to Santa Claus. But we went even further north, like 3 more hours or no, it was more than that, about 4 or 5 hours further north. It was brilliant, and we went up these mountains. We had to wear snowshoes to get up there because like we just kept sinking into the snow. Luckily, Blue is super light and could just walk easily on the top of the snow. Hello, Godzilla Warrior. It's a great name, brilliant. I'm here until I have a meeting shortly. Well, best of luck with your meeting. I'll try to start the stream soon enough, but I'll just make sure we've got a nice audience. I don't want anyone to be missing out. What have you all been up to this morning or this evening or whatever it is in the world? I have been playing a bunch of Fallout 4, actually. My partner and I, we've started watching the Fallout series, and now I'm like, I want to play Fallout. Amber has snowshoes. I don't have snowshoes. We borrowed them, but they're funky. They're fun. You okay there? I'm getting the side eye from Blue. She's just looking up at me like, hey, yo, what are you doing? Why are you talking to a screen? Give me attention, please. She should be fine. We just took her out for a walk, so she should be fine. you might hear occasional moans from Blue, so I do apologize. Free from exams! Congratulations, Justin K! That's brilliant. Excellent. I'm so glad. My sister should be finishing up soon enough as well. But well done. Was it a tough exam? Or were they like really big ones? Or you finished with exams entirely now? What's the story there? Amber says, from when I visited Alaska... Oh yeah, for the snowshoes. Yes, brilliant. Do post on Discord, and anyone who wants to hop over to our Discord. I think the link should be down in the description below if you want to join us on Discord. Just talk about anything, share pictures or your pets, or talk about D&D, or there's a few people as well trying to suss out different things about different systems that they want to create, or different stories they want to create for D&D. It's very fun. Or just tabletop in general. Watcher Online says, loving the tavern vibes. Maybe I should switch to something stronger than coffee. Oh, is it a bit too relaxing, maybe? Or, tavern, of course, yeah. Maybe I should have got myself like an old fashioned or something. That'd be perfect for this. I'm not a beer guy, though, myself. Godzilla Warrior 2021 says, just a character based off of the big lizard and destroyed Japan. Yes, of course. Brilliant. I remember in college, we had this library, a DVD library. And I watched the very first Godzilla movie. It was all black and white. It was amazing. So much fun. One of the best hours I spent. I think an hour and a half or something I spent just watching that in the cinema room in my university. You're eating people. Oh, Godzilla. Right. No, that's fine. Amber's, the Shelty side-eye is real. It's so real. She gives so much side-eye. And Vladimir Armenta Lopez. Ever tried tequila? I love tequila. Tequila is a fantastic drink. I prefer it on its own, though. A margarita is okay, but I do prefer tequila just as is. Maybe a little bit of lime. But that's all I need. All right. Let's. I suppose we can get started here. I'm curious what everyone thinks I'm actually going to be talking about, though. I've given a few teasers in the chats and everything on Discord and a few other things. Obviously, I say obviously. I assume you probably know that I've been making lots of skill trees and things. So we're going to be doing something a little bit with skill trees. Justin K says the concern in your eyes for a second. I mean, people are just announcing that they're eating people and being into cannibalism on my stream. I'm like, maybe no, don't do that. I've got to be a moderator here. Godzilla Warrior 2021 just asking, is it possible to play D&D campaign over Discord? Just a thought, since my friends and I over Discord. Just a thought, since most friends I have do use it. Yeah, ever since COVID, I've been running games on Discord. And I really miss playing in person, but it's super easy to play on Discord. I might even do a video on that. I recommend using I use Dungeon Draft, which is great for showing your screen. You've also got DC20, but not DC20, Roll20. Well, I don't like those online ones that are like a browser because there's so many technical issues. I prefer just getting my maps on Dungeon Draft or something, streaming that to my friends, and just telling them whenever there's combat, just ask them to tell you where to drag their tokens. I import my own assets, like I'll do up little tokens for my players and import them into Dungeon Draft. Super easy. That's all I do. And then you just tell the story from there. The only thing is, like, takes a bit getting used to is like knowing when to like jump in and ask like, oh, I want to say something. But you just got to do it. You just got to do it, but also be polite too, and mute your mics whenever other people are talking. Very simple kind of etiquette, but yeah, that's my advice. My 2 cents for that. Twin Solar Skill Tree System is what I think. You will be correct. Ambers, my group uses Discord voice, then Foundry for maps. Again, yeah, there's so many things for showing maps out there. Foundry is another brilliant one. I don't use Foundry because of money, but Foundry looks very, very cool. Swords and sorcery, but Hannibal makes it look so tasty. Do we see me? I think we do, yeah. I mean, yeah, he does. He's very enthusiastic about it. Twin Solar offer online. I use Roll20. That was the one, yeah. Roll20 and Foundry for maps, but I use Dungeon Draft and Incarnate to create maps. I use Dungeon Draft and I use there's another one made by the same Wonder Draft, same people who made Dungeon Draft, make Wonder Draft. I love them. They're brilliant. They're like a once-off payment. They're fantastic. Right. Let's show you what I got so far. All right, here we go. Hello, look, I've become really small. I'm designing a bit of a mini tabletop role-playing system, and I would like everybody here to help me design it. So I've done this skill tree. I released my skill tree originally for D&D 5e, and I considered it a bit of a rough draft. I wanted to see, what kind of reception it got. I thought it was a cool idea. I wanted to do these classless skill trees for a very long time. And so I've been thinking about it, and I did another skill tree for a Jujutsu Kaisen, and I love the idea of creating this super module classless skill tree level up system. So at the moment, as it stands, I was debating if it should be its own system entirely, or if it should just be this, basically like a really big mod for 5th edition. Now, as I was thinking about it, like my rationale in the end of the day is that 5th edition is so great because it's so simple. And I do like it a lot. I know it inside out, and I think a lot of people do. A lot of people are familiar with it. And if I was to create a whole new system on its own, the one thing I've learned through playing DC 20, which is brilliant, by the way, but I do realize how much work there is into making a whole new system. Because you not only have to make the system, the combat system itself, the biggest thing is the monsters. As of right now, DC 20 has no monsters designed. They have rules on how to create little monsters and encounters, and I'm sure they're going to create something incredible. Kickstarter's going up in June at some point. I also have an affiliate link if you want to go check it out and check out the system. It's Alf. If you go onto my affiliate link for DC 20, if you're curious about checking it out, trying it out, and playing it before the Kickstarter comes out, use the code alpha5off, all caps, if you want to get $5 off it. But after playing that recently, I've realized that if I was to create a whole new system, I would have to create hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of monsters for it even to compare to 5e. That's the thing. That's the one thing I love about 5e is the monsters, and they're very cool. And they have a system there for making monsters. So I've been trying to decide if this should be its own system or if it should be a module for D&D where you create like a classless, it's a whole classless system. So you do away with classes entirely if you implement this into your game, and it becomes very much like a video game, kind of like Fallout-ish, Final Fantasy, where you progress through a network of like a skill tree and you pick and choose powers and abilities and build your own class. Very like Skyrim, where you just, as you play through the game, you develop your class. You don't have a class to begin with. So what are your thoughts? Do you think, if we go along this route, do you think it should be its own system entirely? Or do you think it should be just a really big mod for 5e? One reason I was going to make its own system as well is because I know people are funny about 5e, but I know one of the big bads in Wizards of the Coast has dropped out and has taken their leave. So I'm hoping this similar thing happened in Blizzard, actually. With, I don't know if anyone's been playing Overwatch 2, but it was a mess, and it was mainly down to one guy. I know that Hasbro is a big thing as well with D&D and everything else, but I do think I think things are looking brighter for D&D, hopefully in the future. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think about it all? Let's have a look and read through here. Swords and Sorcery says, yeah, no monsters yet. Lots of cool community ones, but I am very curious on what an official stat block would look like. Me too. In terms of DC 20, that's referring to Sword and Sorcery is referring to. Yeah, there's no monsters yet, but it'd be very cool to see what the stat blocks would look like. Twin Solar says, I recently ran a Pokemon system based off of 5e, and that was a headache creating the different Pokemon. Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, if it's Pokemon, it could very much be its own thing. But you could always go and take like a Goblin and make its attacks like electrical or something like that. But yeah, making Pokemon is very tough. But I think, yeah, something like that would definitely fit its own system a bit better, I think. You might as well just play the Pokemon game. And if you made your own system, you would take from Pokemon instead of D&D 5e, but maybe have the dice rolling aspect, similar thing. That's a tricky one to get right. Godzilla Warrior 2021 says a Pokemon sort of style sounds really cool. Cool, yeah. I mean, yeah, the idea of like leveling up and learning new attacks is really cool. I think I have always loved the idea of, and also having kind of limited like loadout of special moves. That could be a cool thing. Okay, I've got some notes over here, and I'm gonna take down any notes you give me. Let's put down Pokemon moves. I don't know if that's probably really tiny for you all, but I'm just gonna take them for myself so I could take notes of what y'all are saying. Pokemon moves and set loadout of special attacks. Times 4 maybe? Question mark. I'll make sense of that later. Brilliant. Alvardo says mod for players, keeping the mechanics, monsters and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, like exactly. It would be a mod just for the players, I think, which is super cool. And obviously people could play classes too if they want to just go down a class route. But this would be an optional thing. And the way I see it is that it is a mod that can be modded. So it'll be super modular. So I'm going to be designing a very basic standard fantasy skill tree, vanilla fantasy or high fantasy, whatever you want to call it. And then I'd be adding, you can add additional skill trees. So I've done one for pacts and stuff, making, basing things off of Jujutsu Kaisen, the concept of, it's gone from my head now. I can't think of it, but I made a skill tree, and it can also be used for Jujutsu Kaisen or for making pacts with demons and stuff. So that's almost like its own warlock skill tree that you can go down. And then additionally, you could use this could be your base skill tree. Instead of mana, you could swap it out for energy if you're doing like a sci-fi game, or if you're doing something like thinking off the top of my head. Oh yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen mana is just like cursed energy. And so with each little pack you could get of different skill trees, they would just give you a brief description as to like how to just slightly tweak the base skill tree that everything grows from. That's my thoughts. That's the kind of general vibe. And I don't know if anyone's watched the skill tree video that I've released. If you haven't, go check it out. But the idea, you start in the center, and you gain something like 5 skill points every time you level up. And when you level up, you can spend your skill points as you like to progress through the skill tree. So you can go from the colorless to anyone that's connected with like a line. So colorless, you can go up here to 5 health. You get 5 more health if you spend 1 ability point in there. Or you can spend 1 to get 2 mana, and then you've unlocked this node. So now you can get 1 simple spell, which would be like a cantrip. I just put down simple spell for now. And then if you get that, you can get 1 new spell, and on it goes. And you can continue progressing down like that until you run out of the skill points to spend for that level, and then your class is set. In the center with the colorless abilities, that would be like maybe spend 4 of your abilities to get a feat, or if you want to increase an ability score, maybe that costs 3 or something like that to increase an ability score by 1, something along those lines. But that's the vibe. In the colorless thing, you could make a colorless, classless character too. That's the idea that I was thinking about going for there. I just have no health. Originally, the health was in the colors thing, but I thought I'd bring it up here for reasons I'll explain later. But I'm seeing a lot of people are saying stuff, so let me get to the comments over here. Swords and Sorcery says, as much as I would love to see it as its own thing, I think 5e route makes sense, although I am curious to see how this would work with the revived 2024 edition. So I'm hoping with the new 2024 edition that's coming out for 1D&D, that's backwards compatible with 5e. So I'm hoping this is forwards compatible with the new one, because maybe there's some sort of bridge that can work there. Obviously, this is gonna be a thing in the works for a little while, but and I'll be tweaking it with 1D&D when it comes out, and I would love it to be its own thing too. I mean, definitely would be cool having things like flurry of blows and stuff like that. But I want to keep it as general as possible as well. So, for example, if you go to flourishes, these are things that you can add to the end of an attack. So maybe Stunning Strike might be in here. So basically, if you were to branch into a flourish, you might need to progress as well a little bit down the green skill tree before you can get access to flourishes. And maybe I might put in something here like these are level 1 flourishes. So they all cost, you know, I'll put that down because it's a good idea. I can't see my keyboard. Level 1 flourishes. So if you were to spend points in here, you would unlock a simple flourish. So maybe Stunning Strike wouldn't be here because that would be like a higher level thing, and maybe later on, flourishes, whatever. Okay, I'll just do flourish plus one level 1 flourish. But yeah, and then there'd be a little list of flourishes and what they all do, and you can pick and choose one of those, and you can, if you want to spend all your points into just flourishes, and you can absolutely do that. And flourishes will cost stamina. So a level 1 flourish will cost 1 stamina. Level 2 flourish will cost 2 stamina, and stuff like that. And it just gives a little more to melee fighters, which I think would be really cool. Wow, a lot of comments here. Thank you all for being so interactive with this chat. Let's see. Godzilla Warrior says, yes, Goblin use Quick Attack, does 5 damage. Maybe I'll make a flourish called Quick Attack. I like your Pokemon vibes that you're coming up with here. Quick. I love when D&D crosses over with other genres and other like anime or superheroes. I love doing that because when you do it with your players and you give them, say, a Batarang in the game, they're like, oh, I know that. That's what my world of Gostar is all about. You can find old PlayStation 2 games in Gostar, and they're actually a form of currency for a specific blacksmith. But I love just mishing and mashing loads of things together, making big Frankenstein worlds and campaigns. It's just fun. Or just calling an NPC like Morgan Freeman or something. But yeah, I love the idea of adding like Pokemon named attacks. So people, when they say it, they just get a little bit of an endorphin. They're like, oh, Pokemon. That's fun. Let me see here. Yeah, Queen. The main problem I see is a wide array of class features for 5e for skill tree. Exactly. There'll be a lot to cover. And I think keeping it as simple as possible. It might be a bit more boring, but I think you can spruce it up with additional themed skill trees. So this base skill tree that we're going to design soon enough, as soon as I finish getting to the bottom of these comments, this base skill tree would be like the heart of the system. And then you can get, I'll design other skill trees down the line, like a psychic theme skill tree. See, what got me is you've got so many classes that cover specific themes. Like you have so many different classes that cover a death theme. Like you've got like a death rogue, a death warlock, you've got death clerics. But some classes don't get that, and it would be cool if they could get that. So I love the idea that, you know, instead of subclasses or whatever, you would have different skill trees that are different themes. So also, if you're going for a Curse of Strahd campaign, like a really dark setting, people could branch off eventually into a darker Pact Boon kind of skill tree where they learn dark powers and stuff. And so, based on the campaign you want to run, you gather up the skill trees you want to use. And it's a nice way to kind of like say to people, okay, you know, instead of banning classes and stuff like that, and this you're like, we're using this skill tree, and this skill tree for this campaign. Go wild with it, but you know, My brain just ended there, just cut off. Yeah, you can go wide with those within those skill trees, but we're keeping to these themes. Maybe I think it's, maybe it could work, it might not work. I don't know what people think on that. But yeah, trying to cover powers that already exist in classes, I might not do, but I will, like in subclasses specifically. But I will try to focus on like wild shapes and smites, very core features to each class. So that's Godzilla says a gimmick for the game, an anime for Pokemon have a limit of 6 Pokemon at once. Yeah, that'd be fun. Bad idea generator. Let's see what you have to say. Hello, Blue. I guess it depends on how you want combat to work. 5e works relatively well for medieval weapons and magic, but doesn't facilitate unarmed combat from modern weapons very well. That's true. We could definitely look into going down a branch of unarmed combat in here to like make it a little, like spruce it up a bit, because I think, yeah, monks, they do miss out quite a bit. And again, you need to be a monk to be good at fighting with unarmed combat. It doesn't really make sense. Like anyone should be able to learn different martial arts. So and I love the idea of taking up unarmed attacks and being able to level up in that like skill tree itself, like get better. And that's kind of like hitting different like belts in martial arts. So maybe you get like a white belt in unarmed attacks first, and then later on down the skill tree you could pick up yellow belt, and this just increases the damage dice you use. I'm gonna write that down. Belts for unarmed attacks. And with that you can pair with flourishes, and you could pair your unarmed attacks with exposing strikes or sneak attack and stuff, and then that really flavors how you fight, which I think could be super cool. Amber says, I view classes as a preset grouping that if you say rogue, for instance, the options are already picked, whereas classes is more of a buffet style. Oh, hell yeah. I love buffet. I'm one of those guys as well. If I risotto's fine, but I'd never order it in a restaurant because it's just the same texture and the same flavor. And over time, you know, I think the real benefit to using this classless skill tree is you could really just go down an entirely different route halfway through a campaign and not worry too much about the leveling process. Because with a lot of classes as well, you maybe take like 3 of your levels in, say, rogue just to get this one feature, whereas in the skill tree you could be like, I've already progressed far enough down this thing, actually I only need to take a few skill points to get over to that, and now I have the thing I want. So you can take complete like 180s halfway through a campaign and go down a completely different route, which I think would be really, really fun. And I love the idea of like warlocks or patrons and stuff being able to offer you additional skill points. Like they're not level ups, because a level up in D&D is so powerful, but 1 or 2 skill points to put on the skill tree would be super easy to give but then maybe they get a curse or something like that. Godzilla Warrior, you say bad idea. Talk to bad idea generator. Do you think my character would be some sort of sorcerer dragonborn because he's a human with the sun? Oh, so you know each other. Okay, I won't get into that. The conversation going on there, and we go back to Vladimir. I usually go with exchanging their initials for NPCs like Forgeman, Freeman. That's solid. I love that. Watcher Online says, along the same line, I would have named an NPC Mormon Freeman. These are great. I gotta take note of these. I do similar things as well. And we've got Twin Solar saying, I like the idea of theme-based skill trees. I feel that leaves open a lot of room to fit in multiple campaign settings, regardless of storyline. Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be really fun. And you know, it could be super fun. You know, you're going to a new arc of the same campaign, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, guys, I'm giving you all access now to the sci-fi skill tree as we're going into space, or the spell what they call it, Spelljammer. You get a Spelljammer skill tree. So that's I think that'd be cool. I'm glad you guys are backing me up here. I'm glad you're into it. So my question is, what do you think of this so far? This is the skill tree I've been working on a little bit. If anyone's curious, I'm doing this on Canva because this is way easier to do on Canva than doing it on my iPad. Just getting little shapes, writing in the little pieces. I've done a few things here. And we're going to zoom in just to have a better look at it all. But I like the idea of there being 3 initial threads you can go down. One being the kind of beefy tank, which would be relying on health. The green being, like, with the stamina there, would be the specialist of sorts. So rogues and rangers and being just a really proficient fighter, all that kind of stuff. So green is like that. I'm going to turn down the music just a tiny bit. I don't know if it's too loud for anyone else, but it is ringing a little bit too much in my ear there. And then blue is obviously a magical route, like the spellcaster, going down mana, gaining spells, all that. So, and then I've also got kind of sub branches of this, and they're all based off of, this is all based off of the the colors of light. So, if you combine red light and green light, you get yellow light, and the yellow light would be melee fighter essentially. So you're gaining combat styles, all that stuff. Red though is more defense and health and bulkiness. But with health and with magic, you get healing, for example. So that's the pink stuff. That's all about life and manipulating life with magic. So it's like we've got basically the body, the mind, or maybe green is the mind, or maybe green is reflexes. I don't know. And then blue magic, or the external magical forces. So yeah, mind, body, magic, are basically is the trinity that we're doing here. So when body and magic come together, what do you get? And then kind of specialities is green. So using magic in certain ways to do very specific things is what I imagine the teal being used for here. Apologies for anyone who's colorblind here. But I'll hover my mouse over things that I'm referring to. So that would be like shape changing. So maybe you gain one shape changing form. And I like the idea of there being, instead of, having access to all these monsters and animals and creatures, which could be a bit overwhelming for new players. I know people like that too, and I think that's super fun, but I like the idea of you taking on personal, having more intimate relationship with your wild shape or your shape change, whatever it may be. I love the idea of you picking and choosing creatures that are personal to your character, that fit your character. And maybe you only want one as well. That's the other side of things. Maybe you just want to dip in here once so you can turn into a dog and just be a dog, because I think that's super fun. And what's fun about that is, like, in terms of the lore of the world, you might find way more shape changers, people who can just turn into one thing. Very like, I guess, along the lines of like Harry Potter or something like that. Alternatively, as well, we've got like the alchemy. So you learn recipes with alchemy, learn how to brew certain potions, also like infusions and stuff like that. And then we've got runecraft, and runecraft would be more along the artificer, on like constructing things, constructing special magical runes that you can carve into things to give them semi-permanent or permanent magical effects. And then down over next to that, I've got bio runes, which allow you not just to put it in objects and make magical items, but also infuse people with permanent buffs for the day. And then going into bio runes, manipulating life, we kind of go into summoning, because I was thinking like summoning circles could be super cool. And then people love animal companions, so you might want to just go down this route just so you can learn how to summon an animal companion. Summons are super fun. And again, we're going into Pokemon here. This could be your way in going down the Pokemon route. And you know what? I'm going to make a little thing here. I'm going to copy this. And we're going to make another route here. I'm just going to put down a note. Summon HP. And then I'll put down another node here. And I'll put down summon. Let's go with summon element power. I don't know. We'll leave that there. That's going to be a note for later. But maybe if you just focus down this part of the skill tree, you could just start making Pokemon. Maybe that should be its own skill tree entirely. And what I like the idea of for certain skill trees to go into the new skill trees, you need to have the node in that skill tree. So for the Pokemon skill tree, you have to have the summon node, and then you go into that node and you come out in the new skill tree. If this was a video game, that's what would happen. You kind of like zoom out, zoom into like another second skill tree that's below this one. These are almost like doorways to new skill trees. So with the summon one, you could go down that whole route of making a Pokemon. That's a cool idea. I think that's a pretty cool idea. I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but yeah. Samuel, you say the trouble with a lot of skill trees is that not all branches are equal, and it becomes more preferable to take one branch over another. It's very true. I'm going to ask you guys to help me with that, because I would love a very rounded skill tree with a lot of variety all over. Obviously, the problem with that is you can get choice paralysis, and it can be very tricky to figure out what build you want. But I'm hoping by keeping the base skill tree simple enough, it'll make it'll keep it more balanced and more well-rounded. Okay, let's see here. Going down the line, bad idea generator. One way you could expand on unarmed combat is to expand on grappling, giving the character the option to tackle or suplex. Could be fun. Yes, let's go with power moves for melee. I'll write that in my notes here. Oops, melee. I don't know. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. So that could be cool. Well, let's go up here into combat styles. So the way I imagine combat styles being, how do we go up? There we go. So we've got combat styles here. We've got flourishes. Let's go level 1 combat style, 1 level 1 flourish. I imagine flourishes being things you can add to the end of an attack. Combat styles are kind of positions you can take up that are kind of like a permanent, like passive buff. Like, you know, you've got defensive, or you've got dual wielding, and that kind of thing. That are like permanent buffs. And then I like the idea, what you're saying there, of like these kind of like power moves. Let's put down 1 level 1 power move. Power move is a lame name. If anyone can come up with a better thought than power move. But that idea of suplexing or being able to throw people, and that would cost stamina to use, but it's a one kind of extra big attack. It's not, flourishes is like, I hit them, and they're more on the line. I see them as like martial dice abilities, whereas power moves are their own attack, kind of like a spell. But yes. Godzilla Warrior says the aspect of clans in Jujutsu Kaisen could be a new twist to D&D with JJK, such as the 3 main clans. 2 most well-known are the Gojo and the Zenin clan. That could be fun. I mean, that could be a really fun thing. I think that would probably be something people would need to do themselves with their own worlds, because when you go down the route of clans, that's not going to, if I make the Gojo clan and the Zenin clan, that might not fit everyone's games. But I like the idea of, if you wanted to do a Jujutsu Kaisen thing and you have different skill trees, like a darker skill tree, more like shadowy, darky themed, and another one kind of all about light and healing and all this kind of stuff, you could definitely take those skill trees and say they are clan specific. So now you're giving your players specific clan skill trees that they go down, and maybe that's something you want to do in your campaign. You've got 5 different skill trees, and you're like, here guys, these are your skill trees based on your backstory, and people can progress down them, and maybe as they spend more time with each other, they can take aspects from the from ally skill trees. That could be cool. I'm going to put that as a note down, actually. Learning skills from allies. That's a cool idea as a feature that you might be able to, during a long rest or something like that, or during downtime, you can learn abilities that your friends have. Could be pretty cool. Twin Solar, non-combative shape change seems like a lot of fun. Yeah, I think so. Let's go down here to shape change as well. We'll go again with the same thing that I've been going, which is like level 1 shape change. And then maybe later down the line, there's better ones. Yeah, and so, you're limited to a certain amount at the start, and maybe you just want to be like, basically a familiar, turn yourself into a familiar. And then later on, if you continue down the skill tree, you can get better and better creatures. Okay, Watcher Online, Mind, Magic, Muscle for body, and Miscellaneous for the Specialist branch. Okay, Mind, Magic, Muscle, okay. Yeah, we could go up. I'll write all those down, and we'll figure out something. So we got Mind, Magic, Muscle, Miss, or Specialist. Specialist. There we go. There we go. Autocorrect. Thank you. Godzilla, you say the Gojo clan has limitless technique, which include blue, red, yellow, hub, purple, and the 6-sided technique. Yes. I've actually done a skill tree system for Jujutsu Kaisen with all these things, that you can actually gain access to all these abilities. They're all in the Jujutsu Kaisen branch skill tree that I've released. So do check that out, because that sounds like something you would be really into. 10 Shadows techniques, Zenin clan. Yes, they're all kind of like summonings and everything else. Bad idea generator, physique, technique, and mystique. Oh, okay, that's better. Let's write that down. That sounds. I love the quiz. Physique, technique. Wait, I'm gonna steal that. That's brilliant. Physique, technique, mystique. Oh, I love mystique. See, names. Oh, what the hell? Mystique. Names can do so much for something. Often in, like, for example, there in Fallout 4 I've been playing, there's just some names of abilities that I read that I'm like, that's a great name. I want it just for the name, because that's just so much fun and there's so much flavor in a name. But I love that. That's brilliant. Godzilla says, I can imagine you chilling, playing D&D, and the homies and you roll a 20 for a suplex on a poor goblin. Poor gobble. Oh dear. I love goblins. I always give them like a home and a family and friends, and they like hang out in the club like in an evening or do karaoke. And then these heroes come in and ruin their lives. Vladimir says, I think you read, I read about that once. It's called horizontal growing. You need to make all the skill trees equal, and you can give a new thing to one skill tree. Yeah, okay. Yeah, horizontal. Yeah, where one branch is way better than the other. It's like playing Skyrim. Being a stealth archer is kind of just super overpowered. So, yeah, I totally get you. Godzilla says, a better name for power moves is a term for fighting games. Use super specials. We'll go with that. Let me go up here. Power moves. I'll do / super specials. Super specials makes me, because it's got super in the name, it makes me think of like that it's kind of better than anything else. Like maybe there's a special and then there's a super special, but special is cool. Thinking of video game, I'll just write down a note here for fighting video game terms. Let's go with that for now. My music stopped, so I'm gonna go play that again. It went really into the bagpipe side of things there. Wait, hold up. I can pronounce this. Coriano, is that right? Hello. I hope I spelled that. I said that right. Coriano. Hello, welcome. We're just discussing skill trees and making a new skill tree. I haven't yet made much yet, but we're getting there slowly. I'm coming to the end of the comments now, so it's good. Oh no, we are at the end of the comments. Woohoo! Esoteric for the most secret of maneuvers. Esoterica. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. Thank you very much, Dragowolf. Esoterica equals secret maneuvers. Hell yeah. I did not say it right. I'm so sorry. Carano? It's not Carano. No. Sorry. I am not very good with oh. Okay. Gurgiano. Oh my god. I am so sorry. Gurgiano. Curgiano. Is that right? Curgiano. Gee. Cool. Whew. Sweat. Curgiano. We are Curgi, like a big G. Yeah, Curgiano. There we go. Thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah, Curgiano. We're making skill trees here. We've got 3 branches. We've got physique, technique, and mystique. Physique being like health, bodily health. Technique being skilled at very different things, and mystique being magic and mana and manipulating the weave. Giorno Giovanna. Yes, we're coming up with different abilities, different things that this skill tree should hold, and you every time you level up with this would be like an add-on, like a mod for 5e. Basically, it does away with classes entirely, and instead you just go down this classless skill tree path instead of like similar to like Skyrim or something like that. So as you unlock different nodes, you progress down that skill tree path, and you can unlock the connecting abilities. So I'm going to actually just connect some things up here. Actually, I won't connect anything up yet. I'm going to ask, is there what things should this skill tree have? Going through it all again. So we've got alchemy, we've got runecraft, bio-rune summoning. Eventually, runecraft can turn into making arcane armor, which you could later go down and improve in different ways. Spellbroken form is my own class that I made for D&D, which is basically magical barbarians. So you turn into like basically a Jekyll and Hyde kind of creature. Mana drain. We've also got like a whole healing path with like healing and then swapping your own health with someone else, draining someone's health, and then going down the idea of bound weapons to binding weapons to you, creating magical weapons which would be just made of pure mana, and using those to be able to do mana drain abilities, that kind of thing. We've got ward. Wards are basically magical shields, and for each one that you can cast, it'll increase your AC, and you can use it a certain amount of times. What ideas has everyone got for this? Again, adrenaline. I see adrenaline as basically like action surge. Rage +1. So the more your rage is, the more your rage damage is. And for every point you take in rage, the more you can rage in a day, and the more your attack bonus is when you rage. But you don't get the benefits of like taking resistance. Instead, you can go down that path. So while you're raging, you can get a +1 resistance to a certain damage type when you're raging. And so the more skill points you put in there, the more damage types you might unlock. So one might be, piercing, bludgeoning, all that kind of stuff. And then natural defense, I see that as basically you can add either a wisdom modifier to your defense, you can add your charisma, maybe, I don't know, constitution or wisdom to your defense while you're, or maybe even intelligence could be cool as an option there, because I'm going to write that down as a note for natural defense. If you're basically, you could be like a Sherlock Holmes predicting attacks coming at you, but you can choose one skill and add it to that one skill modifier. So let me write down natural defense, add int, whiz, or con to defense. You could even open up to charisma there. I'll put a question mark by charisma. You're so cute, no one wants to hurt your face. And then I've got stuff like, down in the green skill tree, you've got sneak attack. So as long as you have advantage against someone or you have an ally next to them, you can deal an additional d4 of sneak attack to them. And the more points you put in here, the more sneak attack damage you can deal to people. Specialize is then gaining basically expertise in something. And then exposing strike. I was actually inspired by DC 20 for this one, where basically when you attack someone, you can spend a stamina to impose some sort of disadvantage to them, like either blind them or deafen them or something along those lines. Knock them prone. All that kind of stuff. Basically, I think more giving them a condition. Yeah, I'll write that down. But basically, apply a condition with exposing strike, and you'd get a list of different conditions you can choose when you take that ability. But it would cost stamina to do that. So I'm going to write a note here for exposing strike. Add 1 condition, costs 1 stamina. Or actually, I'm going to say costs X stamina based on condition. So obviously, paralyzing someone or stunning someone is going to be much more powerful than just disarming them or something like that. I know it's not a condition, but yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that sentence. It's gone. Godzilla Warrior says, I just got a Jimmy Neutron brain blast moment. I love Jimmy Neutron. I used to watch that so much. The X Factor from Marvel vs. Capcom is a rage buff when your teammates are unable to fight or dead. This could be an advanced version of rage. Ooh, let's add that in. Okay. Advanced rage. Emotional damage. I'm going to put that in brackets. Maybe that gives you a meter. Ally downed. And you called it a... X Factor. I'll put that down for now. I like that idea a lot. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Cool ability. I'm going to add that in here. Let's go with rage. Move that over here. Running out of space already. You know what? Maybe I should just shrink all this down a little bit. And oh, bugger. Okay, hold up. You know, I'll just shrink everything down. Yeah, why not? Okay, there we go. And we'll just center that right there. That'll do for now. So, we're gonna call this, we'll call it X-Rage. For now. I love it. X-Rage. We do that for everything. Make everything X something. Boola boola. Okay, moving on then. We've got Twin Solar saying skill could be included fighting styles, maneuvers, and specialization in melee or ranged combat. So that I was thinking would be probably be in the level 1 combat style, where yeah, you take up you get bonuses to like unarmed attack or dual wielding or something like that. That would be combat styles. Unarmed attack would be there too as well. But yes, so I think that would work there. Players need more access to Eldritch powers, in my opinion. I think so too. I think I'll put down an Eldritch skill tree at some point. Eldritch / Dark Fantasy skill tree, because that would be very cool. Godzilla again says a special attack for the super special skill tree could be a focus attack from Street Fighter. User takes a stance and absorbs any damage while charging up a punch. The punch itself does stun and damage. I like that idea in regards to, I think, hold up here. I think I'm going to add another, hold up. I'm going to add a little point in here and put down charge, attack, damage equals damage taken. I think that's a cool idea, that you hold a single attack and keep taking damage, and then you, based on the amount of damage you've taken, that's how much damage you inflict onto someone. So that's a really cool idea, actually. Bad idea generator. Facilitation for mid-range skirmisher builds, focusing around mobility and thrown weapons would be nice. Okay. So let me add another possible like attack or something like that. Let's go with mid-ranged. Let me see, mid-ranged. Where's the thing? And thrown weapons. Mid-range slash thrown. I think that's a really cool idea, and that could definitely be an ability. I'll put that in brackets. That could go down, I think, with the combat styles. For just specifically throwing weapons. That could be really, really fun. Let's look here now. Vladimir says, what if the natural defense depends on which path you have the most points to use it? That's really cool. Like if it's more physique, it runs on con. If it's more mystique, you use wisdom, charisma, or intelligence. And if it's more technique, it's dexterity. Now, I really like this, but I'm thinking maybe there should be 2 for each one. So, like two abilities. I'll put that down right now anyway for the unarmed. Where is it? I'll put it down somewhere here. Natural defense. I really like that idea, and I want to incorporate that more into the abilities. The idea of the more of one path you've gone down, that'll affect other abilities later on down the line. I think I did that in the last skill tree as well, where an original idea I had was basically your hit dice that you get every time you level up is based off of or they don't change as you level up, but they'll fluctuate as you continue through the campaign. So if you decide to put more points into technique, all your hit dice become d8s. If you're in mystique, all your hit dice are d6s, and if you're in physique, all your hit dice are d10s. So I really like that idea too. I think I'm going to carry that forward to this. Based off of branch. Based off of most used skill branch. I'll understand that note anyway later. That's really cool. I like that. Excuse me. Avenger feature. It says Draco Wolf. Avenger feature. Oh, that's cool. Do elaborate on Oh, you have later on. Avenging Rage. More damage as teammates fall. Adamant Rage. More damage resistance as teammates fall. Ooh, I love this. I love where we're down the rage build. I love that this is its own path. That's really, really cool. Let's go with let's get a new thing here as we're getting rages. Let's go just rage type. And then so at one point you get to choose the type of rage that you have, which is kind of like multi-classing here, or like not multi-classing, but taking up a subclass. I like the idea that maybe you can get additional rage types. Let's write that down anyway. Rage type. I'm gonna write that down. Rage types. I'm actually gonna just copy and paste your message because that is really cool. How do I do that? There we go. Copy, and I'll add that straight to the notes here. That's a really, really cool idea. And I'm gonna change the color to, yeah, sure, red. Why not? Brilliant idea. Godzilla Warrior says the more teammates down, the stronger the X Factor gets. The con could be reduced amount of health, but the greater the power increase. Cool. I will also copy this. Let's go, and I'll put that into. We'll put that into X Rage, or we'll put that into Adamant Rage actually. There we go. Put that note down there. Swords and Sorcery says, have you heard? Have to head into work meeting. Love the stream so far. Looking forward to finishing it later. Thank you so much for coming, Swords and Sorcery. Also, again, you should check out his channel. It's amazing stuff. Really, really great content. Really, really high quality. So do check out Swords and Sorcery. They deserve more followers and subscribers. Bad Idea Generator says an oversized weapon skill could be interesting. Oh, that's such a fun idea. Being able to make big weapon attacks, smashing shields, and knocking people over. Oh, that's so cool. I'm just going to put everything at the moment into all these kind of like fighting style techniques. I'm going to add into like weapon combat styles for now, but maybe there should be a whole other branch or something like that for different weapon styles. But big weapon fighting, I love that. That's really, really fun. That almost feels like it could be its own thing too. Or maybe maybe there should be something here in terms of making your own weapon that you can then almost you get your own weapon skill tree. So let me get this. Oh, oops, delete that. I love the idea of a personal weapon. And then that would branch into different things, similar to the summon, that you could branch into different things for like improving your weapon in different ways. So personal weapon will go. This kind of goes into the rune craft thing, but I like the idea of this being kind of separate if you want to go down like a non-magical weapon route. But maybe this could somehow connect to the rune craft. So maybe if I bring this over here for now, and I'm just going to take a couple of notes there for big weapon. Big weapon hit good. We've got thrown weapon, I think was mentioned. So let's go, just put a bunch of stuff here. Thrown weapon. And if anyone's got any other weapon types they can think of, we can add them down there. But that's a really cool idea that you end up forging a weapon and you choose if it's big, small, or you know what, actually we'll go with weapon size. These might all go into one thing at some point, and maybe there should be a skill tree all of it on its own for just designing weapons, but this is really, really cool. This is a really cool little rabbit hole we're going down here. I'm going to go weapon style here. So now all of a sudden it's not about like your own skills necessarily, or maybe it's about you customizing weapon to fit your skills. But I do like the idea that almost the weapon becomes the skilled one, as opposed to you. Your skill is making the weapon really powerful, and maybe you can give it to other people too, which is also a really cool idea. Okay, out of Magic the Gathering. Oh, what was I'm lost in the thread, I think. But I do love Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering is cool. We should add some Magic the Gathering stuff. Oh.
I think you meant meeting, but...
You're out of the meeting. Okay, sorry, I understand. But Magic the Gathering. Welcome back. Draco Wolf says, Avenging Rage, more damage to his teammates fall. Adamant. Oh, we've got, yeah, I read that. Sorry. Excuse me. The Satsui no Hado or killing intent from Street Fighter could be an offshoot of the range, a super special skill tree. It would be a martial art where you take more damage but deal a ton. We'll put that into... what would that fit? I think that would fit into, yeah, power moves maybe. Or no, again, maybe a type of rage. Actually, you're right. So let's go. I'm going to embolden each of these so I can separate them out a bit. But I do like that idea of like a masochistic rage. Not masochism is the wrong term to use there. But what did you call it? You called it... okay, yeah. Demon rage, actually. Demon's fun. Demon rage. So we're getting some cool stuff now. We're getting the real meat and potatoes here. Take more damage. Deal more damage. So, and maybe the damage that you deal and take is equal to the damage resist, or is equal to your rage. Damage taken and resist equals your rage bonus. So the stronger your rage, the more damage the more vulnerable you become, but the more damage again you take equals rage bonus. So you kind of basically double your rage bonus when you go into this, but you take that much extra damage when you take attacks. That's pretty spicy. I love the idea of there just being a bunch of different rages you can go into. I'm a massive fan of Berserk, and they make raging feel so good. Yeah, rage is a very popular mechanic in game with good reason. Absolutely, yeah, no, 100%. I love where we're going with the whole raging path here. Twin Solar says, a little guy with big weapon is one of my favorite character designs. Yes, absolutely. I love the idea of the weapon, like moving them. They just kind of can throw themselves and follow the weapon. Really, really fun. Yeah, I agree. I'm just going to try to skim through stuff. Yeah, cool world building that you're making. What about specializing into weapon type like spear, axe, or sword? Yeah, let's go with that. Let's add that in here. Let's add that weapon specialty. This is kind of going into the feat side of things, but I like this though as well. Let me see. Weapon specialist, weapon, I guess weapon master. We'll go with that. I'll write that down here in my notes as well. Make sure this isn't red anymore. There we go. Weapon master. Choose one weapon type. Gain, let's say, +1 to attacks and damage with that weapon type. But you can continue down and gain additional benefits of Weapon Master. So let's go Weapon Master. Let's go weapon damage type. Weapon elemental weapon. Let's go with elemental weapon. So maybe you get I'll make a note of that as well. Elemental weapon. Deal a type of damage with that weapon. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, let's put down Weapon Master. Let's make it green, actually. Change color to green. Make this text. And now I'm actually going to make this elemental weapon here. Ooh, thank you for subscribing. Board games with Simon and sometimes friends. Thank you so much for subscribing. we're building skill trees. Give me ideas, whatever ideas you got. Throw them in there, and we'll try to incorporate these into this skill tree. Now, elemental weapon. Yeah, I love the idea that kind of starts going into that runecraft thing as well, so they could maybe connect. I want to always try. I like it when a skill tree is really interconnected. So trying to connect elemental weapons to runecraft somehow would be really cool. So then you can almost go back on yourselves. Final Fantasy X is really good at that, I think, with making things all loop back around. And I like that you can take all these alternate paths rather than one set kind of linear path that a thing just keeps going down. So let me see if I can let me copy this. Actually, let me copy this. There we go. And we're gonna just drag this to runecraft here, and we'll get the other end down here and attach it. That's fine for that'll do. Send it back. There we go. Perfect. It's messy, but it's okay. I can fidget things all around later. Let's keep going because I don't want to fall behind here. World building's hard, yes. If you want to go with the blacksmith or forging stuff, it could be a part of the specialist stuff like crafting. Yeah, I think, yeah, more in the green path. I am realizing we're losing on the... Well, we got a lot of rage stuff up here in the red, but these two bottom ones are definitely getting a lot of love. We should definitely look up here in the red and kind of pink section at some point. But let's go and make this green. That's a good shout. Let's do that. Oh, I like whatever tune just came on here. Let's make all of these green and make the text light. Perfect. That's cool. I like that a lot. That's really, really fun. Which maybe makes me think that flourishes should be... no, we're good. We're good. Okay. Vladimir, if you want to go... Oh, yeah, I just read the blacksmithing thing. Actually, you know what? We'll change personal weapon. No. What am I saying? Yes, personal weapon. Personal weapon, we could... I'm trying to think, like, should we call it blacksmith or personal weapon? I'll put both down for now. I would put down smith. Blacksmith, yeah. Just think there's like goldsmith as well, and there's all these other smithing thingies. But we'll go with the blacksmith. Okay. Where would a discipline skill or feature go? Resisting fear, pushing through pain, or past exhaustion, that sort of thing. Ooh, I guess that would go, because I see the top one, the physique, being very much like resisting, being that tank. So maybe it could be a mixture of, like, it could be in the pink section. It could be both body and mind kind of coming together to fortify it against things, which is a really fun idea. So that's a really cool concept. So let's whoop. I want this to go here, and I want this to go here. There we go. So now let's take these two and drag them up here. Let's go with so we've got rage resistance, which are more like physical resistances. How about we've got rage, maybe like a meditative resistance, mental. I'll go mental defense for now. Or what's a cool name for that? That's the other thing. I'll put down resist. Resist. What did you actually say, Vladimir? Or was it Vladimir, or was it... No, sorry, it was Draco Wolf for discipline skill or feature code. Resisting fear, pushing through pain, past exhaustion. Discipline. Yeah, there we go. That's discipline. Poor blue. Discipline. That's not how you spell Yeah, I knew. Yeah, DISC. There's a C in there, isn't there? Disciplinary resistant. Maybe we can come up with something a little more snappy. Resistance, something like that. Put that down for now. Actually, I'll copy that and I'll put a note down, and I'll add that to my word notes. What have I done? There we go. Disciplinary resistance. And we'll put down your message in there. Draco Wolf. Resisting fear, pushing through pain, past exhaustion, that sort of thing. That's really, really cool. Now. Perfect. Godzilla Warrior. Kajutsu, the fighting style derived from kaijus. Kaijus. That's amazing. Pro strength, durability, endurance, and access to energy attacks. Cons, slow, lagging ability. Overall, a flexible fighting style when optimized. That's really fun. I'm just going to write a note here. Big mode. And I can add your... that in. I don't know where I would put that on the skill tree as of right now, but it's a fun idea. It might even need its own thing. It could be even a fun way, skill tree for creating kaijus, like fighting. Yeah, that'd be cool. Make a skill tree to make monsters for enemies. But being a kaiju is fun too. It's just, it might be tricky for some campaigns. It might be so specific that I wouldn't be able to put in like the base thing, but I love it. Yes, meeting. Magic the Gathering is meeting. Oh, sorry. Yes, my bad. Thank you, Rose. Yes. Thank you, Rose, for elaborating that earlier on. Let me see now. Where am I in my notes? Kurgiano. Oh my god. Kurgiano. So sorry. Do I have any tips for... Oh, sorry. My apologies. World building. You're designing... you're world building. It has giant ice... Sorry. Yes. So I was hyper scanning for like skill tree stuff there. But in terms... a giant ice wall around the world. World building is very hard. I'm actually doing a few videos on world building, and I have another one coming out next week, next Monday. I'm actually editing it as we speak. I was editing today. So hopefully there's a lot there in terms of world building for you, because it's actually, this second video is very specific around physically building a world. So hopefully find something nice in there. But what specific questions are you really struggling with here in terms of world building at the moment? Let me know, and I see if I can answer them here. Just pop them in the chat. Punishing Rage. Let's add that to the name there. I'm actually gonna bring this music back because I actually don't like this part of the song. Punishing Rage. We'll put that into Demon Rage, because I like the idea of Demon Rage being used for something at some stage, but so maybe not for the Punishing Rage, but I will put down Punishing Rage here. Punishing Rage. Perfect. Let's do it. That's rad. Punishing Rage, good name for that. Godzilla Demon Slayer anime has a power system similar to Sorcerer's Blood Demon arts, and therefore is the breathing sword arts, and they burn the sunlight like vampires, advanced vampires with special attacks. I should do a whole skill tree for... I'll just put a note down. I need to do a skill tree for Jojo, for Hamon. There's no way you can just make it. I'm just gonna make Hamon skill tree or subclass. I think it should probably be a monk though. I'll put that down in a note. That's definitely on my to-do list, but I don't know if it'll work here for the skill trees. Vladimir says, sounds like it should come from adrenaline. Ooh, true. Which one actually should become adrenaline? Is that the disciplinary one that should come from adrenaline? Or, sorry, I'm so far behind in the chat now. I'm going a little too slow. let me know, and I'll connect that to whatever. Watcher online, thinking about it, blacksmithing would be a separate skill that is creating compared to personal weapon, which is specialization to use specific weapon type. That's true. So yeah, I've got weapon master, which is using a specific weapon type, but then personal weapon or blacksmithing would be over here, and then designing them, and they could probably come together too and complement each other quite well. So let's put them kind of side by side so I remember that. But that's really fun. Let me see if I can get through. Oh, condition resistance. Yes, Vladimir. Yeah, so condition resistance. So let's put, yeah, we'll put those side by side. Yeah, instead of discipline, I'll put down condition resistance. That's a simpler way to remember it. And let's connect those up right now. There we go. And there we go. And I'll just send that layer to the back. Perfect. Sir Corigiano, hey there, I'm working on building a world with a giant ice wall that encircles it. It's a bit of a tricky task, so I could really use some tips. Do you happen to have any suggestions that could help? In terms of building a wall, an ice wall that encircles it, my best thing, I've got this thing I call the the creative world building question engine. So whenever I have a concept, I'll come up with a creative concept that I want to figure out. And then I'll bombard that thing with as many questions as I can. So with that, you've got an ice wall all around the world. So basically your world is in a bowl. My first question, is that ice melting? Are water levels rising? Do people need to get out of the world fast? Or is it a magical ice? If it is a magical ice, then someone must have cast it or infused it. It probably wasn't there naturally, I imagine. And so maybe if it's this natural perma-ice, who created it? What created it? Are there is there a legion of white dragons who have built it so it's actually like to cage mortals in a certain place? Off the top of my head as well, in terms of it being a bowl, is there anything outside, or is the world like basically a hemisphere floating in the abyss? And just looking up, it's basically like a semi-flat mixture of flat earthers, conspiracies, and like the actual world. This is basically like a semi-flat world. That's really interesting. Are there times, if it's rotating through space or anything, are there times when the water levels kind of move based on that rotation? Is that a weird thing that happens? Or is it just a ring within a globe? And then what's outside of that globe? Why are people trapped in the ring? That's a big thing I want to know. Figure out the history of that. Like, how did it form? Poor Blue being ignored. I know, she's been taken out on a walk now. I think she really needed a wee. But Rose is taken out. So Blue's okay. Skill ideas. Indomitable will grant enhanced resistance buffs. Is a counter to rage. Physical burst. Ooh, that's cool. Like an opposite of rage. Psych burst. Chance of quote. Customizable. Increases speed. That's cool. So it's like a magical rage almost. That's cool. Like a mental state you go into. Maybe that's where the condition resistance can take you. So I'm going to copy that and add that to my notes. And we'll go in here now. And I'll add that in with the condition resistance. I'll copy this. And I'll add in, let's go with, call it Iron Mind. Could be cool. Iron Mind, or like you said, actually, you said something better. Indomitable. There we go. We'll go Indomitable. Indomitable. I'm gonna put down Iron Mind for now, just because it fits in nicer. But I'll put down Iron Mind and then put in your notes here. Iron Mind. Brilliant. That's fantastic. I think Kaijitsu would work. Let you gain 1 martial art when you defeat a monster. That'd be cool. Monster powers. That's a great idea. I'll put that down in my notes. Monster power skill tree similar to absorbing dragon souls. That's a cool idea for skill tree. The idea that if you kill aberrations and stuff, you can go down like it's like you mutate yourself into parts of those monsters. Ooh, that's a really cool idea. Mutation skill tree. It could serve either as a mutation skill tree, or it could serve as like the concept of if you kill a monster, you gain 1 skill point in the monster skill tree, and now can gain powers related to that monster that you killed. So, say you killed a goblin. Maybe goblin's a bad example, but you get like 1 goblinoid point, or if it's like a beholder, I think it's like you get 1 aberration point, and then you can go down the aberration skill tree. That's a fun idea. Moving on. Cristiano, okay, thank you. Okay, I have a problem. Look, my brain is small. Okay, small brain. I don't have good imagination, and when I get stuck on something, I just quit. That's really tough. Again, I would recommend you check out my first video that I released there on world building, where I do talk about how to approach world building, because it is tough. And it's very easy to get burnout very fast if you take the wrong approaches to it. But basically, my advice is you have to combine both broad strokes and small strokes at the same time. So what I mean by that is you flesh out the broad strokes of your world, like the theme, the conflict of your world, all that kind of stuff, and then you start looking at the smallest part of your world where the conflict. I explain all this in the video. You should just go check it out. It's on my page. You go check out this video. Basically, then you go small. You go really big, then you go small, and then you try to connect the big and the small and build those together. And by doing that, by going back and forth and bouncing ideas off both the big and the small, your world will develop naturally. But start small as well. Don't try to go and flesh out the entire world. Start with your world that's in the kind of ice bowl. Start with that. Say that's the world and everything else, but then just start somewhere very, very small. Say it's a big ice world. What's the smallest influence that could have on the world? Maybe you start by a little fishing village. And they gather ice and they sell ice that has fallen off the wall. Maybe there's no other way to get ice in the world. And the adventure starts in a little fishing village that fishes and gathers ice and sells those. Could be a cool idea. Maybe the ice has magical powers. Who knows? Maybe they might, if the ice is as hard as steel and can be forged into very cool ice-themed weapons. You could go ham with that idea. Just come up with as many ideas as you can related to ice, why the ice is there. Flesh that out as much as you can. Just keep asking yourself more and more questions, and the more you answer them as creatively as you can, the more ideas you'll come up with, and the more you'll inspire yourself. Godzilla World, total concentration, breathing from a Dragon Slayer, branch of the mana skill tree. User gets enhanced mana stats and gains access to breathing style. Let's go with fighting style mana. Let's go with like that could branch off from a few things there. So let's go with it's a very demon slayer, yeah. Elemental fighting. I think I've actually got that down here. Yeah, I've got elemental weapon. So we'll delete that because that's kind of already there. Elemental weapon fighting style that branch off from the weapon master, and you choose one specific weapon and you gain all these additional properties from using that one type of weapon. Vladimir, yep, sounds like an adrenaline helping you resist a condition. Ever watched the movie Wanted? Yes, I have. Wanted is very fun. The assassins there have something special about their bodies. They can trigger adrenaline rushes. That's really cool. But yeah, I have watched Wanted. It's very fun. So I remember I watched it when I was quite young, and I hadn't watched many violent movies like that before. So I was like, it's great. Super good. Amber's Cristiano, join the Discord. Yeah, there's a homebrew channel. Absolutely. That's a great idea. Do hop over there. We can chat about your world and flesh it all out. It's a brilliant suggestion, Ambers. Thank you. Twin Solar says, Indomitable would be a confusing word to use due to fighters getting the Indomitable feature at level 9. Yes, that's true. So we'll go with Iron Mind. Iron Mind's pretty cool. It says what it needs to, what it does. Vladimir says, like blue magic. Yes, blue magic is very much like controlling battlefield manipulation, that kind of stuff, but also, yeah, resisting and stuff like that. Oh, cool. Oh man, gotta find a way to do Magic the Gathering stuff in here. You know what? I'm gonna do a thing, and I'm gonna take we're gonna do something to represent Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering color. I'm just gonna say +1 Magic Gathering color. I'll take a note over here. Magic the Gathering color. This, I like the idea of, instead of choosing a school of magic, you choose a type of way that you use magic. So choose how you use magic. So I like the idea of maybe red equals aggro, blue equals control, white healing / defense. Let's see, green. I think green would be like it could be nature, it could also be like elements. And then black would be like necromancy, lifesteal, that kind of thing. Just take a note there. I think that'd be really fun. Doing some Magic Gathering inspired stuff. Godzilla says, I think the second part I wrote wasn't clear enough. It was Indomitable, but Indomitable would still work. It just doesn't sound clear enough to what it does. No, that's fine. I think, yeah, Iron Man, we can go with Iron Man for now as a stand-in, but I like what you're thinking, though, in terms of, like, mental defenses. Ambers, one of my favorite aspects from Call of Cthulhu is if you succeed when you level up, you have an opportunity to increase that skill. Yeah. That's also similar to like the roll for shoes. I like that. I'm trying to think how you could implement that. I'll take a note of it for now. Leveling up skills you use often. I've been thinking about that because that's also very much like how Skyrim works as well. You know, the more you use a skill, the more you level up in it. So it could be fun to try do something there. I need to ponder on that because that's some big brain stuff, but definitely love that idea. Because the last resort skill, Fuga, open. The move accesses a manifestation of a box of AoE attack techniques you can choose from. Interesting. This sounds like a spell. I'll put down AoE at the moment. I don't know if I'll do anything with that, but I like the idea of just something to do with AoEs. AoE. Area of effects. Dragon Wolf. I was away for a few. Did you get a name for the mental damage resistance? I offer resilience, if not. Resilience is also a thing of something. But I'll put that down with Iron Mind. Resilience. Yeah, definitely put that down. I like the idea of it being something similar to a rage, though, like a state you go into. I'm gonna say state of mind you enter. Similar to rage. And what's cool then when you're choosing rage types, maybe that rage type in terms of up here with rage type, it could probably connect to Iron Mind somehow. So let's because it wouldn't be a rage necessarily, it would be its own thing, but I like trying to backtrack with the skill trees, like have them return to each other. Am I making sense? So yeah, the idea that it's something that you, and maybe this should just be a rage type that you go into, that instead of no, because it should be you can choose conditions that you resist. But it's this, it only lasts for a certain amount of time, you know? It could be fun. Fire arrow, large fire AoE, fast bullet. Okay. A lot of very video gamey stuff there, but definitely feels very much just like spells. That would be very much like any kind of spell. Embers, what program are you using to make the skill tree? So I'm using Canva, actually. I have fallen in love with Canva. It's so good. Just brilliant for everything like this. I've even started using it to make thumbnails for videos too. It's been really brilliant in that regard. The Chimera Shadow Dragon launches a shadow in the shape of a dragon that causes stun. Sounds cool. Sounds deadly. Also sounds like a spell though, unfortunately. So we might not put it down here for like the skill tree itself, but because there's just so many spells that do things like that. But I like it, or you could just reflavor spells to do things like that as well, like Thunderwave or what other things? Stun, because stun is such a powerful thing in D&D, so you got to be careful with it. But definitely works for many spells. You can just reflavor them as like a Shadow Dragon, even just a lightning bolt. Vladimir says, sounds like a regular 100D rules for skills. Like if you get 15 nat 15 rolls, you get a +1 to that skill, and you need to get a 16, etc. Yeah, so you're in that's in regards to like leveling up skills and stuff. Yeah, in regards to 100D rules, skills. Yeah, I don't know how to implement that here, because also I want to stick to D&D 5e rules, but I'll definitely need to figure that out. Dragowolf, Unbroken Serenity as an opposite to Rage. Ooh, what a fancy name. I'm going to add that in here. Unbroken Serenity. I also love the idea of it just being called Serenity. That's really fun. That's fun. Serenity is a very lovely name for it. Because you're going into that with magic and the body, that kind of finding that peace is really beautiful. That mystique in the body, it's really, really beautiful. That kind of meditative Zen monk style kind of way of dealing with things. Super cool. And a very interesting way to play like a tank, that you're this mental tank. That's a really cool branch to go down. Godzilla, I think the skill Fuga could be its own technique acquired after reaching the full potential of the art of sorcery. Could be. Diamond Forail. Is that right? Forail? That's an amazing name. Hello, welcome. Damn, how could I be so late to this? Don't worry about it. If you've got any suggestions on what you would like to add to the skill tree, any powers or branches you could imagine someone going down, leave them in the chat, and we can add them in here. A few people are joining now all of a sudden as well. We've got quite a lot of people on chat. So we're designing skill tree. Throw whatever ideas you've got in there. I'm going to be around for maybe another 20 minutes, something like that. So get your ideas in now, and we'll add them to the skill tree before I wrap up this stream. Twin Solar, I've got to head out, but I really enjoy the stream. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you so much, Twin Solar. Have a wonderful day and best luck with it. Or if it's the end of the day, have a lovely evening. Diamond says, don't worry, and gets it right. It's Diamondarel. Diamondarel? Okay, nice. I'm sorry, I didn't get it right though. I mean, I'm not someone who would typically get something like that right. I'm not great with that kind of thing, but welcome. Okay, well, I've gotten to the end of the chat now, so I'm just going to chill here. If anyone's got any ideas, please do send them in. I'm also going to get some water because I am parched. But there's some really cool branches here. If I zoom out, how's it looking? It's very heavy on the magic side. Very heavy on the... Actually, we filled out the pink a nice bit now, and I love the idea of going down this, both a healer or like a mental tank. That's really cool. And then we've got down here, we've got like the specialist. Then we go into like weapon specializations. We've got rages up towards the top, and then we've got kind of like combat style, like just kind of raw martial arts and stuff like that. So that's really interesting. I'm trying to think now, going down this yellow route, what you could go for, like in terms of like a kung fu martial arts kind of style. But I'm trying to think, there's got to be something more than just unarmed fighting to just to do with the body, no weapons. What other things are there? Like maybe the Super Saiyan mode or something like that. We've got rages which are covering that, but now I'm just trying to think of fighting styles with the body. Can you even think of something like that? I may immediately people are saying stuff. So insatiable hunger, a branch of Iron Mind where the user gains a state of mind where they're determined to do a task without fail, another counter to rage. That's pretty fun. So this insatiable hunger, this kind of like super drive to that mental strength. Logan Stark, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you very much. That meant, oh, actually, I should get rid of the ugly goblin text there because people can't see their names when that comes up. Whoa! Oh my goodness, Thomas Marshall. Thank you so much. Holy shit. Cool system for customization. I love it. Keep up the amazing work. Oh my god, thank you so much. I don't know how to react to that. Thank you for $50. That's incredible. Please, everybody, thank Thomas for such a generous contribution. Thank you. Yes, make it a big old skill tree. I'm kind of taken back by that. I was not expecting that. Thank you. Let me get the text for the ugly goblin here out of the way, so we can see things that pop up. Where is... there we go. I'm just gonna... Boop. There we go. So now we can see people's names when they subscribe and all that. Wow, thank you so much. Yes, I hope this is... So I'm imagining this system, it would be a mod for D&D 5e, because I think in the end of the day, it's very hard to create a system all of its own, because also D&D, what I've learned, if you make a whole new system, you can't use any of the monsters from D&D, which is a big thing. And there's so many fun stuff, and also there's so much stuff coming from like the likes of dungeon dudes and stuff. And they've got their whole monsters coming out from Drakenheim, and I adore them, and I would hate not to use them. So there's so much beautiful content being made for D&D, and I love this idea of it being a classless skill system for players to use going forward. Instead of using classes, if they want. It's just a fun kind of, it gives you more freedom for creativity. Anyway, you all know that. That's why you're here. Thank you. If you've got any ideas as well, Thomas, let me know. We'll add them in here. Diamond Rail, is that right? I actually need to double check again. I don't want to say that right. I might call you Diamond for short. Diamond Rail. Diamond Rail says, Chinese Shaolin-like weapons tend to be very nimble, specialized, and also often double as a tool. So it makes me think of stunts on top of evasion moves, like dodge attack and parry. That's cool. Okay, well, of course we gotta have evasion in here as well. Jeez, what am I doing? Let's add evasion in here. Classic D&D staple ability. Yeah, let me see. Shaolin. Parkour. I'm just gonna write down parkour. Or like natural defense should be maybe yellow. I think. I feel like yellow is just. I feel bad for yellow. It's missing out a bit. Make that black, and yeah, there's some cool things you could definitely do. Parry, yeah, parry is cool. Let me think. So I like the idea. The combat styles, they don't use stamina. They're just like passive. We've got flourishes that you spend stamina to add to the end of an attack. We've got power moves. But then how about the idea of stances? You spend stamina to enter a stance, and it lasts for a certain amount of time. And the thing is as well, what a lot of this area has that the rest of it doesn't, is a lot of additional selections of things. So for example, like, you know, this yellow area might be smaller, but within the stances there would be like, you know, 10 different stances you can take. Maybe even I'll have one, you know, level 1 stance, and then, you know, there's level 2 stances, that kind of thing. Similar with power moves, they move up, they continue. You know what we gotta have in here as well is extra attack. Now that I think about it, that's gotta be towards the end here. You know what, I'm gonna say level 1 extra attack, and then level 2 extra attack will be getting 2 attacks. Level 1 extra attack, level 2 extra attack. I'll just put that down there for now. Okay. Godzilla says power-up form could be acquired by killing a certain beast with a weapon called the Soul Shaker. The element of the beast used... Godzilla, you come up with so much cool shit. This is amazing. All very anime related, which I'm digging. I love it. Will be turned into an aura power boost and aura. I love it. Actually, I'm gonna go with that. Well, oops. Well, my mind's thinking about it. Auras. Aura. That's a cool thing. I mean, that's kind of maybe more for the pink side of things. Let's do combat aura. And let's also do another aura over here. I don't know. It's getting real messy now, but it's okay. We can always clean it up. But let me see here. Combat aura, and then we've got, let's go inspiring aura. This pink area, then, what I like is it's very support based. We need to have bardic inspiration in there somehow. Maybe even bardic inspiration could be in... What would bardic inspiration be? Would it be magic and specializing? Or would it be body and specializing? Or even body and magic? Let me know which you think Bardic Inspiration should be. I'll put that down in my notes anyway, so I don't forget it in case we don't come back to it. Bardic Inspiration. You guys are so creative. I love all the ideas that you're coming up with here. Dog King 439. Amazing name. Are there any Gish style abilities? Maybe incorporating a push pull slam. Ooh, actually, remind me, Gish is that like that's using like spell sword, right? Let me just double check. Gish. I know Gish, I just can't think of it. Magician character skilled in both physical combat, yeah, and uses magic. So a few kind of things, but not so much. So maybe we should have some more Gish flavored stuff. I've got like, we've got a blacksmith kind of branch that you'll go down, which maybe I'll put a little more up this way. We've got specializing in certain weapons. I've also got like mana blade, bound weapons, magical weapons that are attached to you. But let's go Gish. Like, I like the idea, like the Force, like using the like kind of very, very Star Wars-ish stuff, which is a cool idea. I'm just gonna put down Star. Oops. Yeah, Star Wars Gish for now. I'm gonna put that in my notes as well. Star Wars Gish, push, pull, and you said oh wow, a lot of messages coming in here. Push, pull, slam. Yeah, I'll put that down. Slam, amazing. Okay, that's a really cool idea. Carnivores. Is that right? Have I got that right? Welcome as well. Will there be an equivalent to the skill tree for exploration social interaction? It's a good idea, because a lot of this is combat orientated right now. I'm realizing that. And maybe Bardic Inspiration should be there itself. Maybe there... I like the idea of having... Yeah, I think that's a cool idea. I think the two core skill trees should be combat and socializing. Because that happens so often. There's so many powers are combat orientated. I'm going to put down a note. I'll put it in big letters so I don't forget it. Second base skill tree is going to be a social / roleplay skill tree. That sounds cool. I like the idea of the base of this being social and combat. So you can go all combat, and if you want just a real grungy thing, you just use the combat skill tree. But I like the idea of having to pick and choose between the two, even though. Yeah. And then let's this should be its own stream, but let me think very quickly. They're coming up with 3 points there. If there was, so here we've got physique, mystique, and what was the other one? Technique. But now if we were to do a second skill tree, maybe it should be like heart. Whoa. Heart, soul, and mind. Yeah, that's fun. Like influencing the heart, influencing the soul, and using the mind or influencing the mind. So like intellectual, again, similar. You've got like intellectual, you've got spiritual, and you've got emotional. Let me write those down. Emotional, spiritual, and what's the other one that I say? Intellectual. That could be fun. That could be very, very fun in the future. Oh my god, there's so many messages all of a sudden. I'm gonna have to wrap this up in about 10-15 minutes, but let's try to get through all the chat here, because we've got a lot going on here now all of a sudden, which it feels very fleshed out. Well done, everyone in chat. Congratulations. We've gotten something pretty solid here, I think. And I like the idea of keeping it quite simple and Obviously, you can make them more complicated with more skill trees, but keeping this as a solid base is pretty solid. Maybe there should be just a higher tier skill tree after this, but I'll look at that in the future. Okay. Godzilla, yo guys, I'm running out of ideas. Please help. You have given so much to this chat, Godzilla. Thank you so much. You take a break. You just get some water. You've been on fire. Diamond Rail, you know what? Could look at a For Honors move set to get some visual inspiration. Get the gears turning. For Honor. I don't know if I know For Honor. I'll just look it up very quickly for myself. For Honor game. I think I do know it, but I do know the one. Yeah, there's so many cool like battle maneuvers in that. I'll definitely have a look at that for inspiration. Thank you. Carnivores aren't the combat styles stances. Combat styles. Thing is, with combat style, I see the combat style as being a permanent ability. Maybe I should, instead of style, it should be combat ability. Or combat passive, I'll say for now. I see them more as a passive, like a +1 to your AC if you're wearing armor, or dual wielding, that kind of thing. But then I see the stances as something you take up in combat using stamina to gain benefits for a certain amount of time. That's kind of where my mind's at anyway. Thomas Marshall. If this is combat focus, characters may want to branch into social, diffusing, or stopping it before it starts. Stealth or misdirection abilities. Okay. New idea then for the second skill tree would be maybe. We've got emotional. Let's go instead of spiritual. Let's put down potentially like stealth. What else have you put down as well? Misdirection. Intellectual. Put down also misdirection. Amazing. I love that. And I don't know, what do people think? Do you think more social abilities should be in the base skill tree here that we're making, or should it be its own skill tree entirely? So you have them as two separate things, and so you have the options. Let me know in the chat. And we can work on that. Thank you, Thomas. Samuel, you say it's been interesting, but I gotta run. Good luck, goblins. Thank you so much, Samuel. Have a great day. We'll wrap it up this soon enough anyway. So, Godzilla Awakening is only obtainable on the verge of death and will give a chance to roll D20 to gain permanent power boost, and Awakening heals you. Okay, cool. Let's add that in. Awakening. I don't know where to put it in the skill tree right now, but I'll put down the notes anyway. Awakening would be. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Boost on death. Put that down. And I'll put that somewhere in here. Right there. There we go. Awakening. There we go. This is looking wonderfully messy. I'm going to have so much fun trying to interconnect everything later. Okay. Skipping along. Diamond Rail, also Absolver, based the whole gameplay on martial arts. Oh, I'll add that to my list. I'll add that into my tabs. Absolver game. Don't know that one. That sounds fun. Diamond Rail says, I'm surprised I'm being inspiration for the Kung Fu stuff when my favorite stuff is wizardry, especially Gish Spellblades. I love Gish. I'm a massive fan of Gish Spellblade kind of stuff. So fun. Dog King, hello. Magical flourishes, maybe taking inspiration from the substitution jutsu from Naruto, where you can swap places with the person or objects. Let's do something like that. Let's go. I'm going to go down here and just add in just an idea. Let's go with let's go ninja for now. for the idea of adding in, using stealth magic and infiltration and subterfuge. I can't say that right now. Put that down in my notes. That's a really cool idea. I'm going to change the music a bit because it's a bit too repetitive, that song. Okay. Carnivore says mystic. Bard inspiration is mystic or technique. Bards get experience in D&D and they are skillful. Get expertise. That's true. They do get expertise actually. Yeah. So let's just copy this, and I'll add bardic inspiration in there. Inspo. Here we go. Perfect. Amazing. We're doing pretty good. This is a meaty skill tree. I'm probably gonna have to shrink it down again a bit more soon, but let's keep going here. Vladimir says it could be a cyan mix between technique and mystic. Yes, perfect. We'll do that. We've done that there. Diamond Rail, yeah, Gish is well done by Githyanki and Baldur's Gate 3. I agree. They're really cool. Not only at the creche, but even the ambushers. Yeah, they're so cool. And they're kind of like, I guess, more on the psychic-y side as well, some of them, but it's nonetheless, it's super cool. Dog King, as a specialist fighting style, there could be something based around pressure points and disabling your opponent. Ooh, that's cool. Let's go down. Actually, that could actually totally be an exposing strike. Exposing strike would be applying conditions onto targets. So, you know what? I'll add that to... I'll make that yellow. Just have too many yellows now. There we go. Exposing strike. Now, Diamond Rail. Also, Witchers, small magical powers that can give you the edge in the right situation, are also powerful. Enough to smite people. Oh, I haven't put smite in here. Gotta put smite in. Let's add that here. I have completely forgotten to put smites in. Smite. Definitely you can get smite if you gain a level here of magic. Let's add that in here just quickly. There we go. Beautiful. Send that to the back. Perfect. I'll get into that later, and that can also then branch into, bound blades, mana blades, that idea of the Gish playset, using magic just to make your attacks more powerful. Love it. Because that enchanting quote gives iron will effect to teammates through customization. With quotes, thy shall not cap or continue to slap. Customizable for comedic purposes. I love that. Let me go. Yeah, I'll put in magic speak. Let's put that down for now in the notes. Again, I'm just trying to get through everything before the end of the stream. So, Diamond Rail, can you explain upon spiritual? Sounds like it could be eaten by emotional. I agree. I just made that thought in my head. Instead of emotional, I think it could be emotional / spiritual. It could be just, they can be one and the same. And then you've got stealth, and then you've got like intellect. And then again, like what I like, I'm actually just writing notes. Intellect plus stealth equals misdirection. Oh my god. Okay. Intellect plus stealth equals misdirection. Emotion plus stealth equals betrayal. Betrayal or emotional damage. And then you've got emotion plus intellect equals something. That's cool. Definitely have to make a whole new skill tree for that, I think, because that'd be a wonderful thing to see. Okay, moving on. Where was I? Godzilla, I think I can gain some more knowledge about D&D, about creating a Black Flash system that works similar to the show. I actually made a whole system for Black Flash in the Jujutsu Kaisen skill tree I designed. Ambers, if you have further comment whether it just didn't get discussed or you have any more ideas, join the Discord and discuss more in the Homebrew channel. Thank you so much, Amber. Absolutely. Yeah, if we don't get around to everything now, hop over to the Discord. The link's below. And we can continue chatting about this in the future. I would love all your opinions and suggestions. So yes, absolutely. Join us in Discord. Thank you, Amber. I should promote you to a moderator. Godzilla, super special. Electric wind god fist. The attack is an uppercut coated in electrical aura that stuns enemies and does a little amount of damage. Really, really cool. Again, I think it might be better as a spell. And also Stunning Strike. Actually, you have reminded me of Stunning Strike. But again, Exposing Strike could be Stunning Strike later on. So, actually, yeah. No, I'll add another. Yeah, that's fine. Let's keep going. Vladimir says, now the question is if you will share the skill points for both trees. It's a really tough one. I think they should be their own thing. That's what I'm thinking now, because but I like the idea that you can convert points between things, but maybe you get 3 social points and 3 combat points, and you can turn your social points into martial points. But I like the idea of them being their own, because in the end of the day, most people will go for combat. It's like, it happens a lot of the time, I think, where people aren't so interested in the kind of more roleplay stuff a lot of the time, because they're like, well, I'm going to be using the mechanical combat stuff more often. So I like the idea of basically giving 3 points in each. I'm going to write down a note here, actually. I'm going to roll this down. On level up, gain 3 points for each tree, but can convert points into martial or role play. Maybe there should be some sort of negative side effect to that, or I don't know. I mean, why not just give them 6 points in the end? I don't know, but I like the idea of just implying that you have these ones for social that you should spend. Maybe there shouldn't be a conversion. I don't know. Let me know, guys, what you think. That's a really good thing. Maybe I'll even do some sort of vote if we want to go over to Discord, chat about that more, or maybe discuss it in the future. I'll probably do a few more of these streams, because I think this has been really, really fun, really beneficial. Now, Amber's, bless you. Damage for rail, yeah, Gits are pretty much on Star Wars Force 5, yes. I have sinned, I don't like smiting, and yet I've been the one to spark the idea. Sorry, Diamond Rail. Godzilla, infused Fuga system. After going through the awakening state, you gain the skill Fuga manifestation, innate abilities, and have scaled them up to max fireball, fire arrow. Interesting. I have to digest that one later, but I'll leave it with me. Emotional damage, yes. I think that should be a whole branch of its own. When emotion and stealth come together, you get emotional damage. Maybe it should be intellectual, I don't know. But we'll see. I like the idea that intellect, stealth, and emotion, when they combine, they make a negative thing. So you've got these negative and you've got these positive traits, which is quite fun. Damned Rail then called it subterfuge or intrigue instead of stealth now. Yeah. Yes. That makes more sense. Let's put that down. Intrigue sounds kind of like intellect, but let's go with subterfuge. I'll do a thing here. We'll figure out some good base names for that, but that should be definitely its own stream, I think. Subterfuge. There we go. Dog King. Could there be a way to scale down more powerful spells / sculpt spells? Or do the inverse so you can upcast or change spells as radius, for example, spike growth increasing to or decreasing range. I really like that idea, and I didn't actually cover that as much as I wanted to here, but there should definitely be a whole sculpting spell section here. So let's do that right now. And I love that idea, the name Sculpt Spell. Sculpt Spell. And again, I think the way to make it less, overpowered and stuff is just to give you one Sculpt Spell ability per point you put in here, which could be very fun. Damadriel separate keeps the characters on the same power level skill wise and allows anyone to be 100% efficient in the respective chosen niche or for both combat and social. Yes, I agree. That's a really good idea. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of being able to convert. Get rid of that, and it'll be 3 to 5 points, something like that per level. Maybe even, depending how the skill trees go, maybe only 3 for roleplay, maybe 5 for combat. Something I think that's usually how they balance it anyway in D&D in that kind of ratio. Separate to keep the character's power levels good. Well, yes. Vladimir, I mean, you could build the social stuff around specific interactions, like having advantage around flirting with a specific race or arcana or specific magic types. That's really fun. I'll just add that in. Specialized knowledge. Specialized knowledge. And bonus to I write the note, but I don't know if it should be specific races, or creatures actually, to social with creature types or races. Okay, cool. I love the idea of there being like some sort of, I'm getting too involved in that, but I love the idea of there being like a reputation kind of thing, or like an honor system, building honor and stuff. That could be a cool point that you can gain, like expendable resources similar to stamina, mana, and health. Having something like being able to spend points to do certain things like influence points. Let me think. Honor points or like luck points, or like karma, and then influence, karma, and genius. That'd be fun. That would be the point system for those. That'd be really fun. Oh, I'm excited now. Ambers might consider a Discord channel or for stream specifically. Yeah, absolutely. We could definitely go over there. And also, I think probably over on Patreon too. And if you like what I do, check out my Patreon. I do a lot of lore stuff over there for my world at Gostar, but I'd love to bring all this over there as well to, like, we could do some chats over there. Let me see. Godzilla spell. What time is it actually? I gotta double check the time. Yeah, we got 2 minutes, so I'm gonna just speed through all these. Oh, damn it, deleted the message. I was just about to read it. Maybe it's better to make a skill tree social knowledge and experience. Yeah. Gonna do a new line. Social. That makes more sense. Knowledge. Experience. That's cool. Experience. Yeah. Do survival crafts, etc. That's really cool. Blend those on the edges like the combat one. Yeah. Perfect. Carnivores, a branch of the martial tree could be, yes, going back to this actual skill tree, I'm already ahead in the next one. The branch of this martial skill tree could be a tactical command branch, giving orders leading people to boosting morale, inspiring fighters, Ooh, could put bardic inspiration there. So I like that idea a lot. So maybe this should be over here. Maybe actually that tactical thing could be better for the I'm gonna copy your message. I'm not gonna put it in this skill tree, and maybe things like bardic inspiration and all that should go in the social skill tree. Yeah, that's a really, really cool idea. Social skill, deceptive tongue, the social skill that is imbued with with a spell to increase the chances to ally belief. Yeah, I like that idea, and I like the idea of having reputation points to that can be spent, or influence points to be spent to change people's, like to tweak people, or add that. You can add influence points to your social roles and things like that. But there we go. Got to the end of the comments. Guys, thank you so much for taking part in this. It's been really, really fun. I had a lot of fun with this. Thank you again to Thomas Marshall. Very, very generous. And for your super chat. And thank you all. We'll definitely do this again sometime soon. And yeah, have a wonderful day wherever you are. Next week, I'm going to be releasing the second part to my... brain's gone blank. To my world building, world building videos. I'm out now. I'm done for the evening. I don't think I can go on much longer. But yes, I'm seeing all these messages come in. I'm like, oh man, so many cool stuff. I want to talk about it, but I'm gonna have to leave it there. Thank you all so much. If you want to continue chatting about this, hop over to the Discord. Links below. If you want to support me in any way, you can do so over on Patreon. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you guys. Oh, also, next month in May, for anyone who's a Giga Chad on Patreon, you can take part in a D&D game that I'll be running. That's all up there, both on the Discord and on Patreon. But for now, thank you so much. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Gostar, the God's Tier. The world of Gostar drips from the elemental chaos like a teardrop. And the further from the chaos that you travel, the more the world cools, stabilizes, and becomes livable. The gods created this world as a sanctuary, originally for themselves to escape the madness that is the chaos. But as they filled it with wonders, it became home to so much more. Gaia, the leader of all the gods, who molded this world, separated it into 6 distinct realms: Jotunheim, the Vale, Olympus, Limbo, Diu, and Kini. Each of which she left to her children, the 6 dragons of Gostar, known as the Feylords, to protect. Lucifer, the oldest of the siblings, claimed Diu, a fiery land full of rare treasure, gemstones, and gold. Tyr, the white dragon, claimed the frosty mountainous realm of Jotunheim, building impregnable fortresses to encircle his own castle, built into the biggest glacier he could find. Cain took over the stormy realm of Olympus and helped erect entire cities into the skies. Abel governed Limbo, a land warped by millennia of psychic wars. Lilith took over the Vale and tended to the delicate ecosystems of the magical and natural world. And then finally, Titus, the runt of the litter, was left Kini, a wasteland of undead, monsters, and eldritch horrors, a land where few humanoids can be found, and any you do meet will not survive long. The dragons eventually warred, like all rulers do. Abel fell to Cain, Tyr was mortally wounded, and those that survived were hated by mortals for the destruction they wrought. The Fey Lords were pushed back into the fringes of society and were eventually lost to the fog of legends and time. But that does not stop them from interfering with mortals' plans, for the threads of fate weave ever so tightly on our heroes who stand and fight the chaos that threatens to consume